Okay, what's going on, people? Happy Friday, everybody out there. Hope y'all enjoyed that last Screw Zoo joint I done, man. The end was kind of explosive. I knew I was gonna speak on I knew I was gonna bring up the Roger Troutman thing. And I've been checked out he actually resembled a fish or trout. But I didn't peep how all that connected with the water and the screw thing till at the very end. How you know niggas be in the building. But yeah, that was a bad motherfucker, man. That goddamn Mommy N. This Mommy is two is Mommy N and New Two. Basically the same thing, just the white Mommy N is the white horse and the New Two is the dark horse or whatnot. Yeah, bad motherfucker, man. So shout out to Screw Zoo, man. But we gonna go ahead and put the finishing touches on this Paris burning, man. We ain't got too much left. But so basically what I was trying to say in the last one in a nutshell is what we're gonna say, what this your boy Dorn, he said all minorities outside of whites only wanted to live and look as good as white people was pretty much the aim. Every media from TV to film is all we had at first. So in so many words, what he was saying was, well, basically what I was trying to sum up was, they basically took our basic survival instincts and attached or made, to one degree or another, made kind of like they attached or made basically living like them or doing things their way, or even much so, or even far as to say they pretty much took assimilating into their culture and attached to your natural survival instincts. So eventually, after years and years of all that, or generations of all that, we started to naturally, or I don't say naturally, but it became easier and easier for people to want to either literally be white or at least imitate them to a degree to where they could live as good as white people or whatever. So that's like science, mad scientist shit. They attach this assimilating a white culture to your survival instinct. So you subconsciously do things just that serve them or put you in a state of mind closer to theirs, all in the name of survival, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. So that's pretty much what I want to hit the scene in that last one, or the last Paris parallel world joint. But all right. So he said black people are the greatest example of behavior modification. Has everything taken from them or from us and still survive. Which he's got a point, because when you look at us on all fronts, we'll be economically, culturally, socially, all of these things we were kind of behind in, based off of coming out of servitude or whatnot, and had to basically was playing catch up. That's if you want to be successful in quote unquote white America or whatever. You have to modify your behavior. Uh, but so I kind of felt it when he said that on the behavior modification thing. Which all goes what I was saying about you have to modify your behavior from uh, what our mentality grew into naturally coming out of slavery, and modify which would to basically to acting close enough like them to where they can trust you. Because the more you act like them, the more you saying, "Hey, you guys got it, y'all are the way or whatever." And the more you do that, the more you subconsciously tell them, "Hey, we're with you," or whatever. Therefore, it makes them easier to and then accept you or whatnot. But that is all part of behavior modification or whatever. So yeah. Now, let me see what it is there. Something I want to. Okay, yeah, that's what we. All right, so yeah. Now another thing I think where, like I say, man, at the beginning of the one I seen at least, like I say, I looked at one on YouTube, and I went back and looked again, but I had clicked on another one, and it didn't start off the same. But the one I seen started off with the white supremacy billboard, some about some white supremacy church or pseudo white supremacy church or whatever you want to call it. But that's why I was looking at the whole thing from a kind of I had to step back and look at it like, well, okay, well, who is this? Who put this together? Was this put together by the actual people of the culture, or did somebody step to them and say, hey, we want to, we see y'all got something popping here? Kind of like same thing with hip hop. That's why I'm saying this shit is a parallel because but it's more so like they took difference between that and hip hop is they took hip hop and basically made it a all the way mainstream thing. But with them, I mean, if you ask me, when it comes to the ballroom thing, it's like they just took elements of it instead of elevating that whole scene, or getting behind it, I guess, and putting money behind it in that form or whatnot. To me, it just seemed like they took little bits and pieces of it and incorporated to what they already had going on, was the whole fashion show, runway thing, or whatever. All basically, like I think, because usually when you see, not saying you see some bizarre type of, when you go to a fashion show, you're bound to see some bizarre type of dress wear or whatever. But that Met Gala shit, that's, if you was asking, like I said, I ain't from that world, so I'm just giving you based off of what I see from where I stand at. But the closest thing to the ballroom scene that was going on out there would be the Met Gala, just like because they got the it'd be a lot of weird shit, weird dress wear, and it's weird to me. I understand that's a whole other world. So in their world, that's like normal shit or whatever, square dresses and shit or whatever. It be all kind of wild. That's why I be looking at. I mean, each his own, But I be like, man, we would have never went like in the '90s, nigga. That would have been like even early 2000s and '80s, especially before that. That would have been like a nigga. We even in the '90s, we started looking back at the old school hip hop guys who kind of patterned their dress code after punk rock, and was looking at them like, what the fuck was them niggas doing, And we still respected them and shit. And get us kind of wild, you know. We first, you know, at least that's how it was for me. You know, it was like, you know, of course you start off with mad respect for the OGs and shit. Then one day you just look back, I don't know why niggas was dressing like that. You know, but they kind of, but then you think about Parliament Funkadelic or whatever, you're like, okay, well maybe it's a kind of get a little spin off from that. And then before that, we never really had no mainstream distinctive style of dress as far as in America or whatever. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but so but Met Gala, that's like a nigga. That just, you know, that just doesn't say rap guy. At least not rap guy. Girls are different. You know, they, you know, into the fashion world and shit or whatever. Or, you know, the one or two guys who may be into fashion. I don't want to just make it seem like everybody. Because you would think that it probably for the most part, most guys that are into fashion like that are gay, but I wouldn't say all of them. You might have some guys here and there that's like gay or whatever. He in fashion and shit. So you see him in that guy, you be like, well, you know, that's Kanye. He's into that type of shit. But I wouldn't necessarily just sweep him under that box, the gay box and shit. But other than that, that's why when I start seeing rap niggas like that bitch, I'm like, yeah, them niggas weird. Well, I have to ask, well, you know, unless they get, you know, and they're probably getting paid and shit, but that'll still be like what's my motivation in this motherfucker? I'm not into it like that. Maybe they didn't do it like that. I don't know. Them niggas wearing pearls and shit. Who the fuck knows? I don't know, man. This shit is weird. But yeah, man. And to double down on something I said before, man, I don't have no problem with gay people, but the LGBTQ, the group, which is government shit, don't think that's just some group of gays that got together one day and said, hey, you know, that was just a way for them to control. We just got to understand about these people, they're trying to control everything. So LGBTQ, first it was GLAAD and shit, or whatever, or Rainbow. I don't think that's the other Rainbow Coalition. Oh, that shit probably linked up. Who the fuck knows? But the GLAAD, that was kind of like you know, I guess that one kind of played out or whatever. But they still doing awards and shit for that though. So I don't know. But actually, the LGBTQ shit, that's. I'm not talking about gay people. That's why I would say back when Bobby was about the groups and shit. You fuck up. See, you think I'm just talking like I'm saying that because he's straight, so he's just no. Now anybody might let me put it like this: LGBTQs, they behind the fucking. That's the motherfuckers who promote that organization is the reason why you have transvestites going to kindergarten classes and shit and trying to start putting this shit out in books when really. Say the kids not even supposed to be exposed to sex. You don't even. That's why even in the regular world, you don't get that lesson till you get into middle school and shit. That's another reason why they teach you in middle school, because that's the element. That's that one. I would say survival of what I was speaking about with the rites of passage and how girls are supposed to be. Legally lawful to or whoever after they have a period. But today we live in weird times, so it's, you know, I'm not, like I say, it's your own discretion or whatever with your kids and shit. That's still, you still somebody's child when you turn 14 and shit, so they should have, that's what I'm saying, you have to be more, we are not as hands-on with our kids as a society. You motherfuckers need to, that's why I be looking at, when you look at, you be like, man, everything is just so accessible. And what about the youth? And I'm like, no, fuck that. Look. Nah, I'm gonna say that. But you know, you need to, that's a challenge, basically saying, no, you know, for when all these years of just letting shit run fly free. Now look at this. Now it's time for you to, that's telling you, hey, you need to tighten up America or society. you need to really take the responsibility of teaching your kids instead of putting them in front of TV, giving them a phone. Or you need to that's entertainment and shit. But you niggas need to really start sitting down and having an intellectual conversation with your kids. As soon as they start learning how to talk and shit, you need to start cultivating their mind to a point to where you can have them prepared. So by the time you don't put a fucking phone. I wouldn't put no phone in no goddamn kid. Maybe you just got some games and shit, they can't get anything else, whatever. But I wouldn't just, and really they ain't that too. I regulate that shit too. You know, starting out early, putting shit out up their eyes and shit. They tell us stop, don't sit too close in front of the TV and shit or whatever. It fuck your eyes up or whatever to the light or whatever. You give a kid a phone and just turn your back. You know, they all day. Even humans, even regular niggas, grown ups and shit on this shit too much. Motherfucker be, you know. But what I was trying to say was, yeah, you niggas need to talk about these kids. So by the time they get to middle school and shit, and life starts taking another stepping up a notch, they'll be take them, and you see y'all be. I'm gonna hold that one, but talk more to your kid. I'm gonna say that for another segment. But yeah. So you know, they like, oh, we gotta explain them and put it in the book. So it's like, no, man. First and foremost, that ain't even normal. That's I know that it may sound coarse, but that ain't even. You confuse them out the gate because kids naturally come out and grow up, and it's not outside of those who have those feelings or whatever for the same sex or whatever. Regular kids, you don't have to tell them if they see two men, or you tell that one person to be a man and then that a woman, that's confusing them. They're gonna be, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's natural shit in niggas that, you know, like I said, each his own. The first time I seen two dudes kissing, nigga, that fucked me up. I had to change the channel and shit. It was like, you know, no disrespect, but I'm just saying, it was some different shit for me. This was like 2002 or some shit. And that's when I realized, I said, man, that's the first time I ever seen that shit. That time, it was some shit on MTV or some shit. I was looking at this shit, I said, oh, but anyway, you know, and you might be saying, well, you know, these kids, there's more people that's partaking of their life, so they gotta understand, like, well, let their parents, if her mother wanna be with another woman, or this kid is staying with the same guy, sex thing, parent, they need to talk to them about the shit. Don't come and jump in front of no class and say, hey, look, you know, people are getting their dicks chopped off. You know, come on, man. This is some bullshit. I'll be highly offended if my son came home or my daughter came home and said, hey, man, you know, they have some, you know, I'd be offended. You know, for one, you ain't supposed to be talking to them about no fucking sex shit. These are kids and shit, you know. And as far as them books and shit, I don't agree with that shit either. I think you should keep it regular. Man and woman, you trying to prime them for some shit. No, keep it normal for the kids. If the kids born like that or whatever, you know, that's their thing or whatever. But don't be it's like you trying to precondition or something. I don't know, that shit ain't right though. I wouldn't want you talking to my kids about no regular fucking sex. Ain't no fucking kid come home at 6 and 7 years old. Oh, you know, they showed us a video of a girl and a guy having sex. What? No, you know, that's a control. Now, TV and all this shit, I say that's different. You gotta, it's your responsibility in the crib, what your kids see, what they don't see, and all that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? You have to. That's your job. But when I ain't trying to send my motherfucking kid, I'm at home trying to do what I can to keep them from being exposed to too much, and then they go to school where they supposed to be learning this shit at, and fucking got transvestites and shit dancing from them and shit. So they got to come home to me and I'm confused, Pop. What's going on and shit? I don't know, man. This is more shit. I'll probably take my kid out of school and I'd be mad at the motherfucker. I don't know what school this was, but I remember this shit being a thing. I saw it online. Maybe it was some fake shit. You don't know what the fuck going on these days. Everything's a fucking illusion and shit. But I've seen this shit and I remember people complaining about the shit. And I don't think that shit should be in no fucking children's book either. That's just my opinion. We can argue all night, but I don't think so. Well, I ain't arguing with you, but that's just my opinion. I don't think that shit should be like that. And I ain't, like I say, I'm not attacking gay people or knocking them or none of that shit. Just don't touch my ass. I mean, I ain't grab my Johnson and shit. We good. But, try to trick fool me with the switcheroo, with the cut it off switcheroo and shit. I gotta cock my hammer back, Paul. I ain't fuck that shit, bro. That ain't right, man. I say they should have something you can look at. Oh, yeah, let me make sure that's the world we live in. I think, they talking about computer chips and shit. You can scan fingertips and put a fucking some kind of sign and some shit, whatever the fuck. Cause that shit. But anyway, I just want to double down on that or triple down. I know I just said that a couple times. I don't think that shit is right. It is not right. You shouldn't even be talking about them. They gonna find a nudie book. Well, I don't know if y'all still even do nudie books and shit. That's how we used to come across it. Going to them beds and shit, and that color and mom and pop's going and what them damn books at, trying to find them shits or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? Or find that old flick and back in the VCR days and shit. So, our parents did a terrible job with that. Either mine, that nigga would that shit nowhere. He's going to the bed. There's somewhere in this motherfucker. We know they young and we want to watch them. Shit. So see now you gotta do is put some fucking, unless they go to a friend house and shit, but put some type of parental shit on their phone or whatever, I guess. And they alright, but and nowadays you had to hide that shit. And our parents wasn't as good at hiding that shit. We was watching that bunch shit out, but which was not good. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of that type of shit. Kind of probably speeds the process of you learning and shit, which you shouldn't. You supposed to be worried about fucking G.I. Joes and shit. You humping around and shit. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, man, but I just say I don't like that shit, man. Keep it regular for them kids, man. If they like that and they already like that as a kid, they don't figure it out when they get up there and see themselves represented in movies and all that old shit, because it's everywhere now with forcing kids to get shit out of that shit, man. That's what I'm saying. That's bullshit. I wouldn't want my kid coming on telling me no shit. They was telling us about the mommy thing. I don't know. Don't talk to my kids about that shit. Keep their thoughts as innocent as they can possibly be until, because motherfuckers gonna turn asshole on you anyway when they get up in that teenage age. Man, keep my shit regular till they get up there. I'm gonna try the best too, man. They get a hold of some shit outside, all kids got their own sneaky shit or whatever. They figure out some shit, find out some shit outside of me. Hey, I try my best. And I don't got the shit just laying around the house and shit. So yeah. Man, that shit is wrong on all kind of levels, bro. But that's what I'm saying. And they'll do that. And you'll be, that's fucked up. Then here come the LGBT with that hammer. Oh, come in the judge. You mean, you're attacking us because you're saying that's wrong. And then they get to riling their people up and shit. And then there be some bullshit. You sitting there, know you right. Just leave, we'll cancel you. And all this old dumb, you'll never work in Hollywood again. All this old bullshit. Now you tight-lipped on some shit. That's why I had to do this shit on the rites of passage shit. One of the reasons I'm not, the average nigga wouldn't do that. I think I deserve fucking props for that shit, because the average nigga wouldn't do that. They'd be too fucking scared of you, the people, and all that. So fuck that shit, man. This time up with the bullshit, man. But anyway, now this was interesting though. When I saw the guy stepping on the flag, I think he was sending a sign. Like, that nigga was sending a shot. Like, yeah, bitch, we ain't fucking with y'all. Even though the flag, everything that shit consists of is our shit. The bars, the stars, that is all nigga shit. It existed before I can show you that shit. That shit come from even as Egyptian. They got a guy named Sack. That shit still, he got bars and stars on it. It ain't nothing but the earth, but all that shit. So, but I understand where he's coming from. Yeah, I'm not saying he did anything. You know, this is the time niggas don't know. We don't know this type of shit. So niggas just look at the flag, man. Fuck that shit. Cause we see the flag as a symbol of our oppression. Because it's the same flag that they fought for their independence under, and they oppressed us under the same fucking banner. So we don't give a fuck. I seen him. That's why he's on some shit right now. And I would say, I think I'm gonna have to put this in the book, but I saw some shit. I'll let you can put this shit together yourself. But look at this shit. Just pay attention. Look at the shit. It's some spiritual shit going on with these guys. That's why I say you can't have that. This shit, I don't care what you say, you don't like gay people, whatever, fuck them and all that shit, whatever. There's some spiritual shit going on. I ain't gonna even get into this. I'm still debating. I'm gonna have to put this in the book. I don't know. I got shit anyway. This shit here, oh boy. I seen some shit. It's like fucking groovy time travel shit or something. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I saw something of that. Well, you might see it too. I'll let you see it on your own. It's some wild shit. I said, oh, whoa, this shit's crazy. But, this shit is off the chain. They stepping on the flag. I found that interesting. I feel like I said this shit already. Man, I ain't doing this shit all over again. Anyway. But Dorian was like, you basically was, he said it, see, you know what I'm saying? I'm breaking this shit, I forgot I even had this shit in the notes. I'm still at the top of the page where I was, but he said everything. He said you were considered you were praised if you could capture their lifestyle and live like them. And he's right. And it was just basically everything I've been breaking down from the last video on to the beginning of this one, or the last one in regards to this topic. So, yeah, and he's right. That's why when you get to mainstream fucking mainstream America, you have to fit into that goddamn, that world or whatever. Niggas like me would be considered undesirables until they hear a nigga talk. I thought he was just an ordinary southern bitch. I got some shit to say. Every nigga with a baseball cap on and shit ain't no fucking idiot. But or do-rag on, for that matter. Yeah. Alright, so moving on. You see your boy Willie. I forgot what he was talking about. Willie Ninja, the Vogue Master. You see him. I forgot what he was speaking about, but he was in front of. He had a tarot card. I don't think that was by no coincidence either. He had a tarot card reading placed behind him or whatever when they was interviewing him or whatever. I thought that was some magical shit. You know what I'm saying? These niggas wasn't just no fucking. You thinking these niggas was doing some fucking magic shit? These niggas was doing some shit. Like I said, when that nigga was voting by that tree, I think he was trying to send a message. He was just saying, "Hey, this is what we doing about." He's like, "No." That nigga, it's like he got by that tree where the sun was shining, and that tree, and him doing that shit. I was like, that guy's on to something. I don't know. He's on to something. Not sure what he's on. He's on to something. Believe that shit. That nigga was hitting that shit. Pulling that shit up. Get it, nigga. Tell your motherfucking sit down, Willie. Shit. Yeah. But anyway, so the one guy says, the ballroom tells you that you're somebody. But at the end of the night, this is one of my favorite parts right here. He said, but at the end of the night, You have to tell yourself that you're somebody. I said, yes, that is the fucking truth. Man, that was so good when he said that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, you have to. You know, the ballroom tells you that you're somebody, but at the end of the night, you have to tell yourself that you're somebody, and that's real shit. Because first and foremost, when you base your self-esteem, you have to base your self-esteem on something that comes from within, the inner self. That's why this shit is called knowledge of self. It's basically the key to life, really. Once you start to, okay, see, this is what we do. We become a good basketball player, be the best, you know, football player, whatever, and put ourselves out. You take a kid for example. Go through middle school, all the way to high school, becomes the best in the fucking area or whatever, the school or the district or whatever. He's a hot shot. None, this is for anybody. Football, basketball, baseball, anything. Once he might be the best. If he's a prospect and he's going to the league, this, that, and the third, right? So what can happen is, you can invest. You can feel like, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, the only thing that you're good at is basketball or football or whatever you play, and you invest all your self-esteem into that shit right there. And this is what makes you feel like, this is what your self-esteem is. This is what makes. See, when you put shit outside yourself, we base your self-esteem on shit like other people's opinion of you, or things you can do good. Not saying you shouldn't find a sense of pride or self-esteem in that, but that should be more that should be a bonus. The best thing you can do in life is be educated, or educate yourself, and put your self-esteem in that, and keep that going, because you can always learn. As a matter of fact, you should do that just based on the fact that once was a time where it was illegal for us to read and write and be intelligent and speak candidly and things of that nature. The other shit should be a bonus. See, it's backwards. High school jock, he knows all the fucking moves on the football field, the basketball field and shit, woo woo, but don't want to fuck with them books. That's a common thing we know. That's because they invest. The only thing they feel like what's gonna make them is they fucking them whatever sport that is they do, or whatever, even rapping, all that shit. The only difference between rap is you got a better chance of having not these days. Well, that's another story. But anyway, let me ask you a question. So you the man, football, basketball, lacrosse, whatever the fuck you're doing, and you base your self-esteem off of that and everything that comes with that. You know, they come with the girls and the screams and shit, and yeah, man, and you know, the big man on campus complex and all that other shit. And you're the man and shit. But what happens when your motherfucking ass don't get drafted, or you blow that knee in the 10th grade and shit? Then you know what you're gonna pride yourself off of. You know, or not even just that. Niggas who pride themselves off of, I got all the bitches. You're like, that's it? Initially, that could be your fucking downfall if you ain't intelligent. And you better have some type of fucking brains about yourself, because you got a hot business. I'm gonna get to spinning your ass around with loops and shit. But anyway, but what basically I'm trying to say is, that's why I never put my fucking, I never based what made me feel good about myself off of what other people say about me, whether good or bad. You know, of course, good is better. Of course, good helps build your shit up, your self-esteem up, whatever. Or it adds to whatever's already there. But that's all it should really be for the most part. It should be something that adds on. I don't give a fuck the world I'm trying to be right now. Fuck him, he ain't shit. His dick little and all that shit. Whatever, I'm good. I know this shit. I know the spice of life. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck what you say. At this point, especially, I always been like that. Girls, you know, we coming up with a song called "Don't Want No." Well, on the radio, be like, "Don't want no short man." But then the real song was "Don't want no short dick man." And you know, I'm short, so they automatically assume. And I tell you like this: I've heard different things from different women. They just put it like that. I don't give a fuck. But this was, and this was even before nigga even got into. This was around the time I was on my second piece of. I probably was at my body count was probably about like 2 or some shit. So I hadn't even got to the point where I was stroking with emotion to the point where I could walk about it and be like, yeah, I'm doing my thing right. You know, I was still figuring it out when this shit came out. But you know, I'm short nigga. He's like now if I was a frail nigga, I based my fucking esteem on these motherfuckers outside of me, which could have been easy to do because I was a chick magnet. So, but I never let that shit get to my head though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that comes with not. The reason I was able to not let it get to my head because that's not what my self-esteem always came from shit within me or whatever. But you think if my self-esteem laid on with them motherfuckers, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm short. I don't give a fuck what you think. Come find out, ho. You might change your mind, you know. So you know, motherfuckers. I say, yeah, that's why you can't. And these motherfuckers is idiots. Look, you will find I'll be telling niggas, bro. You want to limit how. You don't want to just be totally insensitive to how you're viewed by your surroundings or whatever. You know, because then you just. So I don't give a fuck. I might find any kind of way and shit and all kind of shit and just start wilding. Nah, we want to keep some type of cool for yourself, I suppose. But what I'm saying is, that fuck these, you gotta have a little of that fuck everybody and fuck these niggas. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do it. I hit them and shit. I started out doing. Look, when I first started growing my hair, I had little plaques and shit. Nigga, everybody laughed at me. When them motherfuckers grew and I started wearing braids, I had on the fucking arms. Real nigga shit. But that beginning process, they laughed at a nigga, bro. Now, if I would have let that stop me and said, you know what, maybe I should just cut my hair. I remember, I was fucked up then. You know, she was like, I don't worry about it. You know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but I remember her being, because that's the first, she first put my little plaque. This was before the braids. I had the little rubber bands on. Them shit was hurting too, man. I remember my brother, he didn't last. I made it, but my shit was, that shit was hurting like a motherfucker. And she did my shit, and I think she did his shit, my brother's shit. And I remember waking up that next morning, but then she did it on a Friday. I remember waking up that next morning, and them goddamn, I seen them rubber bands everywhere. That nigga took his shit out. I kept my shit in, that shit was hurting. Nigga couldn't even sleep right. Man, I was putting motherfuckers laughing at me, you know, talk shit. Oh, okay. I grew them fucking braids out, it was popping. Yeah. So sometimes you gotta go through shit and say, yeah, fuck that shit, whatever, bitch. Yeah, talk shit now. I know where I'm going with this. You know, but But if I gave a fuck, see that I was a kid. This is why I was even talking like this shit. I'm fourth grade and shit. So if I was just a normal kid, I was, oh my god, I'm gonna just cut it and go back to normal. I said, nah, fuck that. I'm going with the program and shit. You know. But then I got some fucking extensions. Yeah, go on away. Get the fuck. I didn't know no better. I was a kid, but my damn stepmama talking. I'm like, so whatever. Put some shit in and shit. I was on some mystical shit. So yeah. But and then my shit grew up long enough I braided my own shit. So that was a bonus. You wanna laugh? Ha ha ha. Whatever. But mystical did it too and shit. So I was like, oh, he done that shit too. I didn't know no better. I'm a young nigga. I'm not thinking. I just wanted my shit looking like old dog. Oh yeah, fuck it, let's get it. You know, so at first that's what it was. Then by the time that was like the I think that was like probably about that winter, 9-4 winter, and then I think when that summer came around, I think about about May, 9 was it? No, that was winter 9-3. And then by summer 9, about May 9-4, I started getting my shit was long enough to braid on his own and shit. Oh yeah, go on get your fucking laughs out. Real is real. But yeah, but mine, I had to, it was popping once I quit fucking. Then when I put the extensions in, then went to fucking started going to Ashworld and shit. It was jumping, you know. I didn't know now. If I didn't know, she probably would have caught me a couple months. You know, after that, I grew a little bit. I'd have been like, hell nah, bitch, I'll just wait. You know, but yeah. But you think I give a fuck? I was, you know, of course, you know, a nigga was hurt. Everybody, you know, but I wasn't like, you know, yeah, cause I'm a kid and shit. But I didn't give a fuck enough to say, I'm gonna just abort the mission. You know, fuck these niggas. You know, and then, you know, I grew up and really didn't give a fuck. Like, I don't know for what to say, bitch. I'm the man in my mind. It is what it is. Then what if the world say, hey, he ain't shit? Well, that's your opinion, bitch. I'll be just shit over here in my room by myself if nobody else fuck with me. He ain't up. That's your fucking opinion and shit. But you gotta have it in you though. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, because you will be around here trying to adjust yourself or priding yourself. Or trying to act or move or operate in a manner that you are basically trying to look good to motherfuckers, and then find out, you know, later on that line, they ain't shit. You know, man, I used to care what you thought. You can't motherfucker thing, and then you find out this motherfucker ain't shit. You hiding this motherfucker on some knuckles and shit or whatever. He like, god damn. That's why I never bump these niggas, you know. This will always be my own man. Always, bro. For the most part, you know. I never was on no motherfucking worrying about what a motherfucker. I learned that shit early in the game. Fuck what niggas think. These niggas ain't shit either. Or these niggas ain't, a lot of these niggas ain't shit. You around this bitch, you know, trying to put your best act on for some motherfucker, and this motherfucker's a fucking. Can you imagine trying to be you act like you the hard, you trying to act hard for a nigga and act like you a gangster because you think he a gangster and shit, or he the hardest nigga around, and you find out he a pussy, you like, yeah, that type of shit. I never done that, but I'm just saying that happened. But yeah, so yeah, man. As long as I had the fucking extensions and shit or whatever, I didn't really. I wasn't thinking of it. I'm a kid and shit, so I'm like, I guess I put the but it wasn't like it was no gay shit, no shit. Nigga. It shit looked like Go Dog and shit. I was like, it was calling me. Yeah, you gonna ask, oh shit, Go Dog. It was that fucking and Batman from Immature, not Batman, but Marquis Houston. What was his name? The other nigga was, I can't remember what the nigga's name was. Immature, but they were calling me that shit or whatever. And like I said, eventually my shit grew long enough. I cornrowed them back. Then I was able to get my hang time and shit jumping, and it was popping from that point on. But yeah, Fun fact, you know. But yeah, man. But like I say, you probably that's why I like when he said that the ballroom tells you that you're somebody, and that's cool too. Going there, you can go in there and use it as jet fuel or whatever. But you have to know eventually, you have to become confident in yourself to where fuck what everybody say. You know, if it come down to it, it ain't gonna be like that. It's gonna always be somebody. Unless you just some type of rotten ass person or something, and everywhere you go, you fucked up. But you know, if you let your best qualities, if you pride yourself, if you let your pride yourself out being a real motherfucker, you know, or a genuine person, you know, or being a good person. That's what I really need to be doing, you know, to the best of your ability. Because we all got negative, positive points about us and shit, but you know, let that shit light you up. Hey, you know that nigga never stole from me, man. Oh, other friends did. They just never did doing shit like that, you know. But you know that nigga cleaned the cat one day. Shit, you know, something, man. Y'all gotta, you know, find some other shit. Stop letting these motherfuckers, your peers and shit, with your peers. That's what leads to peer pressure. Oh, if I don't do that, they gonna think I'm a pussy. Or, oh, the girls gonna think I'm. And y'all girls really got this shit bad. You look, girls. I'll say they will like a nigga. I've seen it with my own eyes. Will like you, and all they got one of their homegirls can come and say, "Oh, what's going on, girl?" And the bitch won't all of a sudden hold so fake. And you hold no, I ain't bullshit. Just drop the dumb shit. They'll front and say, "Oh," and start acting like they don't like you just to save face for this bitch. And she probably just telling that bitch that because she can't get you or she wants you or some shit. I've seen this with my own eyes on numerous occasions. That's why it's so good. That's why I love being a player, man, and having a healthy career from a youngster all the way on up in the now shit. I've been chilling lately, but overall because I've learned to suck. I've seen it all with these fucking girls, all kind of shit. You know, the bitch don't want to fuck with you in front of everybody. You get the bitch, oh, you the greatest thing in the world, and all kind of shit. You know, some wishy washy. That's why I don't even that shit. Yeah, I love the. Don't get me wrong. Every nigga want the girls to love them and be the man when it comes to fuck niggas. I don't give a fuck. You want the fucking girls to love you and marvel over you and all that shit. You know, that's any man should want fat. But even that shit, I ain't even letting that shit get me too hyped, bitch. Because you'll like me today, and you see something else you think better 2 days later, and you be over there with that nigga telling me, coming up with some bullshit excuse to break up and shit. You know, just 2 weeks ago, the last few months, bitch, I was the best thing since sliced bread, and some new nigga you come and thinks the hot shit. Well, you know, baby, I've been thinking, I don't like the way you was looking at that girl, but you ain't even looking at no bitch. He's been looking for a reason to break up with you just so you can hot dicks and shit. These hoes do that. Fuck it up shit. They talk shit about us all. Oh, niggas ain't shit, they dogs. Fuck all that. Yeah, but I know you hoes too. Y'all got some dirty shit with y'all. Y'all be on some bullshit too. And you know I ain't fucking around. Just squash the bullshit. We know. I've seen it on numerous occasions. I've been talking to people in the club. Yeah, oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I love your eyes. Oh. And then the homegirl walk up and grab, come on, girl, pull her away, and she be looking back, and I'm like, fuck that bitch back here. Oh, I can't, what you can't, bitch, that ain't your mama. What's wrong with you? You gonna leave the attic. Yes, man, and you know I ain't, this is women generally, this is not no, little spec, no, this is how they operate. That bitch can like you, and 4 all homegirls vote you out, it's a wrap. And the bitch will like you, yeah, be fronting like she on with shit. You catch her on a nice cold night, hiding somewhere, you probably can get the pussy out the bitch. You catch her at school or some shit, or around them ratchet hoes you with, yeah. That's, I'm telling girls, y'all could be some of the fakest motherfuckers ever. I've seen this shit. I know, I ain't just talking no shit. Oh, he just talking shit, cause he mad at the girls who couldn't hit, no, bitch. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd rather you just not fuck with me and I'd rather see you be the bitch that I can't get as opposed to being a bitch, I can get, but acting like you don't want to fuck with a nigga. You know what I mean? I'd rather you be a real bitch. That's some of the fakest shit I've seen in my career of courtship. I don't even want to call it shit. So, yeah, man. Fuck to them. But, that's why you can't pride yourself off that shit, man. Or money and all that shit. Shit outside of yourself. Because if that shit leave, then what? Are you still the man? Or you don't? I used to be the man and shit, you know. What happened? I lost my car. Yeah. You know, my pussy rate went down. I just ain't been the same. I'm nothing. So the car made you, you know. I'm not saying that shit don't help. And yeah, you fuck around and yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to have your own shit to pick you up. Yeah, well, you know, at least I do backflips and shit, dude. Or something else. Spread that shit out. You know, you don't want to just put all your eggs in one basket, I guess. But you acknowledge yourself, though. This shit is always once I'm telling you, you get to a certain level with this shit. And I ain't saying you have to. This is even this. You don't want to just like I don't. You think I walk up to a girl, hey, you know, I'm Morris, and you know Egypt had the world's greatest pyramid. I don't know. I'll talk about other shit too. This shit is really, I don't even, I'm talking to chicks and shit. This shit, or anybody, really, this shit has to find a way in the conversation. I don't even mention this shit. This motherfuckers is crazy, but, basically what I'm trying to say in so many words, man, you have to be the one that says you the man, or you're the girl, or whatever the fuck it is. You know, you can't base it on some shit. How good you can rap. What happens when you don't want to rap like you used to rap? You don't, you know, you lose that record deal or some shit. You blow that knee, or you know, that shit crush your whole. You fuck around and crush your whole fucking ego or some shit. Something you have to. You don't think you shit no more. All I have was basketball and shit. You know. But you want to build you want to be able to, you have to, that's why niggas say at the end of the night, you have to be able to tell yourself that you're somebody. That where you have to find something to make you feel like somebody, or whatever it is. I don't even fucking, it's just being a fucking good person or some shit. You know, when I was, shit, you know, I feed the ducks on the weekend, I'm saying something, I don't know. But that's real shit, man. Because like I say, people ain't shit, bro. You don't want to put your fucking put your too much stock in the average society or whatever, man. Because these motherfuckers will let you down. You know, people are finicky, man, and wishy-washy. They're wishy-washy, man. That's more so, yeah, for the kids. Well, my shit, I really be talking to the grown. I know my shit be a little too raunchy for the kids, but you can take this shit I'm telling you and tell it to your kids in a more PG manner or whatever. But you know, that's what I'm talking to every niggas need to grown motherfuckers, childish in the motherfucker too, so they need to hear this shit too. But I really be asked, you know, I think if I had a child, that would be one of the primary things that would be on the top of my list. I'd be waiting until that motherfucker. Soon as we get old enough to understand. Hey man, boy, talk to your baby girl. Look at you ready to go into elementary? Huh? I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. You know, the motherfucking brightest ever. You know this. Give me affirmations and shit. Don't let nobody how they look at you. You know, but you gotta send them out there on point though. I don't just be telling them you ain't building them up and shit or helping them. You know, you just tell them, hey, you're the shit. But you ain't teaching them nothing, putting nothing in them. They're just going out. That's, you know, false pride or some shit. I guess ego poison or something. Man. You know, you have to give them a sense of pride. Give them something to have a sense of pride. Give them a sense of pride. God damn it. Shit. But yeah, man. Uh, I think that was. We got 5 minutes left. Yeah, I ain't gonna go too crazy. Almost finished. I guess I do this one. And I had one more left from this one here, man. And then we wrap it up. But yeah, that picture on my Instagram though, when I got my shit like that, all that's straight up natural. Like I said, that extension shit with it. I don't really go, oh, I thought it was this real hair. No, that is my real hair right there. My shit be long as motherfucker. I even only hit the top too, so my shit come out like down here and shit or whatever. I don't even have no pictures with the when I had the extension and shit. Yeah, I was there, man. I don't know what I was thinking, but like I say, y'all were kids and shit. They ain't look girly, so who gives a fuck, you know? But you know how niggas say, oh yeah, weaving and shit. Who gives a fuck? My shit look just like the way it looked on the damn picture. I don't know why. It looked just like my shit did when I fucked around and got the real house. Who gives a fuck? But yeah. Then I was clocking them Annie. Hell, I'm loving that shit. I wouldn't. If I was to go back, yeah, I'd do it again. Cause when I nigga once, I got that shit, nigga. Once I went to Ash the World, nigga, it was a rap. It was all a nigga like, oh man, man, go lead us. God damn it. Yeah, man. Them some fun times, some fun times, man, back in the game, man. And niggas is right. I don't know how the fuck. Well, I know what it is. I think, well, no, I ain't gonna say I think. We wouldn't have made it in that fucking. That's the way that son was being. But see, I know what it is. Like I say, the summertime is gonna be hot regardless. But I think our position in regards to serious is what's making it hotter than it was in the '90s because nigga, we was out there, no water, none of that shit. Water cost about $5 a bottle. How you living right now? The way shit is right now. See, back in the game, shit was cheaper. See, we live in Astroworld prices now. Ask anybody, see, the niggas don't get it. Niggas who average Six Flags or Tenders, they gonna know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when I say this shit right here. We were living off Astroworld prices. Everything that was in Astroworld back then, the Big Mac was $2, and that motherfucker, that bitch was $5. A bottle of water we wouldn't even drink a bottle of water back then, except maybe at somewhere like Six Flags. You walking around that motherfucker, so they would have bottled waters up there and shit. And I'm guarantee you, I never bought one of the motherfuckers. That's how I know it's hotter than it was. We was up there raw dog, no drinks or nothing. We said, man, we made sure we eat before we go to that bitch or something. That shit was high than motherfucker. You $10 come out that bitch with a nachos with cheese, no chili or nothing, a few jalapenos and shit, that type of shit. They was knocking niggas' heads off. That shit was the future. I guess they were trying to give us a glimpse at the future or something, or some shit, because that motherfucking price used to be high. That motherfucking nigga walk a can Coke be about $2.50, and them hoes like 50 cents in the store. You going that man? Oh, they didn't know. Yeah, you ain't gonna leave. No, you're not. Well, you can't leave. You get them stamps and shit. We used to sneak in with that shit too. You get them stamps, and you leave, come back out and shit, go get you something to eat or whatever, and come back. But they know the average person ain't trying to leave. You trying to, especially if you just regular. We were probably more at liberty to do something like that because we was there for the rides and shit too, but we was more so for the girls and shit. So, and then it wasn't nowhere really where we used to be over there. We had some stores and shit in the area, but yeah, you pretty much had to eat either before you got to that motherfucker or after. Like I see, you had McDonald's right there. You might slide out, go to McDonald's, then come back and be alright. That's a quick little deal, but that motherfucking that heat, like I said, I'm like, nah. It's something different about this sun right now. I think at the position we are in regards to Sirius, though, it'll make it hotter. Like, where we at? It's a close look. I mean, it's like an elliptical or some shit like that. But I know where we at, we a little closer to that bitch or something. Because it ain't, it wasn't this motherfucking hot when we was growing up. Going out there. We was sitting out there, no water, no nothing, nigga. But then again, a nigga wasn't smoking and shit, so, well, we was smoking back then. I just thought we stopped lying. But, yeah, it was something different, bro. We walk around that motherfucker and, a nigga every now and then you might break down. Fuck it, I'm gonna go and get me a Coke with some shit. And them hoes was like $1. I think that's what it was. I think them hoes was like 50 cents or some shit in the store. And you go with the fucking vending machine in there, you first and foremost, them hoes be about double the price. It was some wild shit. Them hoes, McDonald's, I said even McDonald's. Everything, whatever you got at the regular McDonald's, that shit was like double in this motherfucker. So a Happy Meal is $4.99. And that bitch, you gonna pay about $9.99 for that motherfucker. And $9.4, $9.5, $9.6. Back then, that was crazy. Nigga, you like, God damn. And that's what I was telling niggas. What I stopped seeing when them niggas started fighting and shit, I started, the first year I went, that bitch was packed. First started going out, we was packed. Second year, then when the fights started getting crazier, I started seeing it thinning out. I said, oh. And then, you know what that is. Niggas running the money out, so, white folks, they the ones buying all that shit. We ghetto kids and shit for the most part. We had money too. Had motherfuckers that had money and shit too. I ain't saying all niggas was broke. But there was a bunch of ghetto kids up there and shit. We hood niggas and shit. Ain't nobody trying to pay no fucking $4 for a hot dog and shit. And that bitch ain't got no ketchup on it. And he ain't got no drink or nothing. That's white people who do that shit though. They got it like fuck it. They ain't tripping. We wasn't fucking around. Nigga might get a funnel cake or some shit. But that shit was expensive. But yeah, we walking around that motherfucker. It's hot in the motherfucker right now. I'm like, nah, we wouldn't have made it. I don't know. This is a different type of heat because walking around a theme park, we used to do this shit every Saturday. We was hot. You get hot, but it wasn't like this shit. You wouldn't use because nigga, you bring your towel and shit, wipe your sweat out, whatever. But if we was out there in this shit right here, you didn't have to take your shirt off, walk around that bitch and have ice packs and shit. I don't know. That's some different shit out there. But man, I got one more, man. I'm gonna come back and end it off with this last page in this. I got 2 more pages, so I'll be able to go through those or whatever. And